comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane.
Ho, ho, ho! Welcome to this Christmas edition of Cooking with Oma. Today I'm going to make two pastries which are our family's favorites that I bake usually around this time. The first one is Nuss Strudel, which is a walnut roll. The second is moon cookies. The ingredients are, for the Nuss Strudel, 4 ounces of ground walnuts, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of granulated sugar, 4 ounces, a half a cup of room temperature butter, 2 eggs, and yeast. And for the yeast, I take 2 ounces of water, warm it up, do not boil. When the water is warm, take it off the stove, put a teaspoon of yeast and a teaspoon of sugar in, let it stand till it cools off again. Now I'm going to do the eggs, crack the eggs, separate them, egg whites, now going to take the egg whites, put it in my bowl, that is done. And now I'm beating my egg whites until they are nice and stiff. Now put it on a high speed to speed it up. Now it's done. And now come the rest of the ingredients, which is the walnut, the sugar. I'm going to move this out of the way. And then we are going to mix it up with my wooden spoon, my Kochlöffel. Mix it just until it comes together nicely. The filling is done. It only takes about a minute. You just have to make sure that it's nicely, everything is nicely mixed together. And now I'm starting to make the pastry, which is, I'm cutting the butter in. The butter is nice and room temperature. Cut it in little pieces. It's easier to mix it. Just like this. And then there we go. Now I'm starting to mix it. I'm mixing the butter and the flour. I'm doing it by hand, but there is a pastry cutter that you can use, but I just doing it my way, my old way, because this is how I have the feeling how it's supposed to be. Now I'm just about done. It just has to be a little resemble coarse meal, just like this. I'm almost done. There is the yeast. Take every bit of it. There's my 2 egg yolks. And now I'm starting to, I have to knead it. Just like this. But I see I need just a little more flour, because sometimes the egg yolks are a little larger than other times. And if they are larger, then the dough is too soft. But I can see it's coming along. Now I'm putting it out on the counter, every bit of it, as much as you can. And now I'm starting to knead it some more. I'm gonna put just a little more flour on the counter so it won't stick to it, or your board, or whatever you are. Otherwise, if it sticks, you can't roll it out, which is the next step is going to be the rolling. Now you make a little form, and then cut it in half, as even as possible. Now I have 2. I'm putting 1/2 with a little flour on the counter and put it aside. And the other half, some more flour, spread it out. And I'm taking my rolling pin, and this rolling pin has a little history to it. As you can see, it's not like the rolling pins a lot of people use. My husband made this for me about, must be 50 years ago, from a broomstick. And made it really fancy, even a hole to hang it up. And this is what I have been using for all these years, and it brings back memories, a lot of memories. So now we are going to go just like this. Then we put some more flour on. Turn it around just like this, very easy. The dough is nice, and roll it very, very thinly, as thin as possible. There. Almost big enough. That's it. It's done. Now comes the filling. And the filling, I'll take half, approximately. It would be nice if I would do it exactly, but spread it out all over the pastry, from corner to corner, as just thinly, because when you roll it up, it's going to be nice and thick and double. No, I have to take a little more. There you go. Roll it up nice and tight. It's going to look thinly. The first roll is done. I'm taking the cookie sheet, which has to be greased. Don't forget to grease your cookie sheet. There it is. There is one. Set it aside. Take the second piece of dough, flour your counter and the dough, and start to roll. There, done. Now comes the rest of the filling. Need every bit of it. I'm taking my scraper here. Everybody loves it. My grandchildren, my children, and I hope they'll save this recipe and so they can make it themselves. Christmas time or any holiday wouldn't be the same without these goodies here. Now comes the rolling part. Remember, nice and tight. Just roll it. Look at this. Take the cookie sheet, put it on, and now we are going to cover it up first with some paper towel, and then a nice little towel. And the reason for this is it has to stand for 1 hour, and this is going to rise a little bit. That's what the yeast does. So now I'm putting it aside, and it will be 1 hour before I'm going to put it in the oven and bake it for about half an hour. Now I'm making my moon cookies, and the ingredients for that are 1 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, 4 ounces of softened unsalted butter, which I use for all my baking. I always use unsalted butter. 1 cup of ground walnuts, and 1/3 cup of granulated sugar. And just put everything in together like this. Very simple. And then we are starting to mix it. Mix it until it all sticks together ready for it to go on the counter or a pastry board if you have one. It's going to be easier. I'm going to put it on the end. Make sure everything is, it'll take a few minutes, but just keep kneading it and kneading it. It's coming together. You have to have a little patience, but it will come together. And when it's nice and firm and doesn't crumble anymore, then you can start kneading it, and I'll tell you what to do after. There we go. You will feel it. It will feel right when it's nice and smooth and looks just like this. There. Now I'm going to do this is how you do just like this. Now I'm taking a knife and approximately cut them in 1-inch pieces. Now this will look for the next. Then comes making the crescents. This is a little, you have to have some more little patience here. It has to stick together. Now I get my cookie sheet and put my cookies just like that. Take the other one. Like that. You don't have to put them too far apart because they are not going to spread too much. Rolling out a second piece of little dough, cutting about 1 inch, there, making my little shapes for half moon. The cookies are all done, ready for the oven. Altogether there is 26 cookies. So now the oven is preheated to 350 degrees and in they go. The cookies are going in the oven on the middle rack and it will take about 25 minutes or so. We'll check it after 20 minutes and see how they come along. They just have to be nice and golden brown. Cookies are done. Taking them out. You put the cookies on the cooling rack and let them stand and cool enough to roll them in icing sugar. Now the Nuss Strudel has been standing for an hour and it's ready to be baked. But first I'm going to prick it with the fork just on the outside, like this. And the reason for that is that sometimes the dough cracks, and if we can help it, we don't want that to happen. It might still crack a little, but it doesn't matter because we'll be covering it up with icing sugar and nobody will know. The strudel is ready for the oven, which has been preheated to 350 degrees. The middle rack about half an hour. My moon cookies are ready to be rolled in the icing sugar. Perfect. They are cool enough. This one. There. Doesn't that look yummy? Now it's time to taste. And it is as yummy as it looks. Okay, the Nuss Strudel is done. Put it on the cooling rack and let it stand for about 15-20 minutes till it's cool enough to sprinkle the icing sugar over it. Okay, then Nuss Strudel is cool enough to put this icing sugar over it. And this is a little gadget that you can buy in the stores. This is the easiest way. I'm going to cut it, and you cut it at an angle like this. First of all, it looks much nicer and tastes much better. There, easy. Easy. Now they are all nicely cut up. We'll put them on the plate. Doesn't it look delicious? And now it's time to taste. Is it ever yummy? I think it's the best I ever made. Now, I hope you will enjoy Oma's Nuss Strudel and moon cookies. And I wish you all a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. And thank you for watching Cooking with Oma. Bye-bye.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.